Back on it, walking fans. St. Mawes. Sunday morning. St. Mawes to Portloe. And the baptism of fire this morning with a scary set of lanes all the way down from Portloe where I'm staying. Much steeper, very narrow, altogether exhilarating. Here we go. St. Mawes to Portloe today, lads. Walking fans and all my followers, all two of you.
It's only exhausting because it's a standing job.
So just leaving St. Mawes now, heading for the other side.
I know, but if
And,
I see.
Well, not even 5 minutes into the walk, and we have song for the day on day one of Cornwall, the end. A week of walking in Cornwall. Friend to me, there he is, all togged up. Usual colours, red and blue, and black, and greys. A salty sort of grey on the old footwear. He's been putting excessive dubbing on there by the looks of it. Anyway, we've got a song for the day, not 5 minutes into the walk, and it is Anthony's song, the moving out song, because we're at Anthony's place, the other side of the estuary from St. Mawes. And there it is behind us. Picture postcard, sort of chocolate boxy pile of slave traders' wealth.
And for the music fans, this track is the first track of the Billy Joel Stranger album from the early 80s.
What a great bit of musical nonsense to start the day with. So Andy and me are pondering over this lovely little selection of beehives in this charming valley just above St. Anthony's Place Church. Now, it's, well, the tail end of April, and the question we've been pondering is,
are there any bees in there? Do they all die off and the queen is the only one to survive? She then propagates the rest of the swarm, or whatever it is called, hive, or not.
So he doesn't know either. So are there bees in there or not is the question we shall ponder. We might have to go on to Beepedia. Few photographs or video for the next part of the walk, walking fans. Andy and me donned waterproofs, the sky darkened, and it chucked it down from our southernmost point pretty much all the way around to Portloe. Well, I've just penetrated the mean streets of Portloe. Lovely little fishing village, I guess. Another comely chapel to my left. You can get intoxicated with the beauty of this part of the coastline. So that's the bay at Portloe. We've got probably about the halfway point for today's walk, so it's no bad time to take a bit of lunch. Just got that unmistakable feel, a lot of these places of holiday properties, none of them lived in, not those there. Just before the season, it's somewhat concerning, I suppose is the word. Wage rates down here, and the the lack of work in a diverse range of industries. There's plenty in farming, construction, fishing, obviously leisure, but not a lot else. So unless you work in probably the NHS, the big hospital in Truro, or probably in education, teaching, not a lot for you down these parts. A handsome terrace of houses there. Plenty of beachcombers down on the shore platform, the rocky platform down there. Lovely place. Bit of stylage. And look, getting over style and seeing that. So the big headland up there is called Nair Point. And that's our goal for today. We've got to get round that sucker. And he's girding his very loins. Well, it's actually de-girding. A bit of a demonstration of SWCP essential equipment. Baseball cap, keep the rain off, keep the sun off, 17 layers of clothing. And that's just the underwear. Oh, here we go. This is getting a bit X-rated. We don't have that anymore, do we? Don't think so. Offshore wind, so you can see the ripples on the surface. The wind is behind me as I film. And that is our major headland over there, Nair Point. I'm really looking forward to getting up on that. Some lovely walking around this big bay. And I think we've got some interesting stuff to see. I think there's a cave. There's a cottage and a cave with some haunting story attached to it. So that'll be a little SWCP story to come. So a glorious spot. 9 miles in, Treluggan Cliff. What a great Cornish name that is. A lugger, perhaps a boat, tree, place, a village, a settlement, a lovely bay. And this is Geraint's Bay, named after Saint Geraint, one of the Cornish saints, one of the many, 6th, 7th century, and generally one of the heroes of the past who fought against the tyranny opposed from elsewhere that went up a level with the Norman conquest in the 11th century and into the 12th, when this beautiful county was robbed by William and dished it out to one of his sycophants, who he made the Earl of Cornwall, which later got turned into a dukedom, hence the term duchy. Yeah, hence the term duchy, which I dislike intensely. The current heir to the preposterous throne that we still have is the current Duke of Cornwall, as was his father before him. Absolute outrageous act of theft. Those inheritance tax dodging scumbags that we should have nothing to do with. Full stop, period. And Carn Beach, Carn. So the Carn that I can think of, so yeah, Judy Carn, Dick and Rowan Martin's Laugh-In, I think was a big US hit series in the 60s, ensemble comedy, musical items, and Judy Carn was on that along with Goldie Hawn, and probably never watched it, it's probably on too late for me, but it was rather marvellous, I seem to recall. Well, this is Tregagle Hole, one of these narrow coves And there's a cave down there in which John Tregeagle was entombed, except when he was sent up to Bodmin Moor to empty a pool with a limpet shell, which seems very harsh, even back in the harsh old days. And that's his little cottage up above. And legend has it that John Tregeagle sold his soul to the devil. Not quite sure what in exchange for, but he did. Anyway, magnificent point on Nair Headland. We're looking back to all the terrain we've covered, and as I said before, walked all of it, mate. Foreboding cliffs. Oh, the wind dropped for a second. And it's absolutely blowing a hoolie up here. That's a howling wind. Here it comes again. Coming across us from from basically the east. Well, there you go. How about that? It's worth just coming those 3 extra yards. And that dark, forbidding headland in the distance, that is the Dodman. Not Jane, she's somebody else. Dodman, dead man. So many place names have an association with shipwrecks and lives lost at sea. All very humbling. What a view. Just a place for a nice sit down on a bench. Trouble is, well, I'm going for a bit of baseball cap off action at the end of a hard day. Not too far to Portloe, but since we left Port Scatho behind, where we stopped for tiffin earlier on, it's been wild, remote, fairly rugged, and some serious up and down. I mean, the height of the highest cliffs is around about 250 feet, but just now, the little scamp that the SWCP is, it dropped us all the way down from that and straight back up again, up a pretty severe set of zigzags. So that was hard graft. Gonna be doing 15 miles, so it's back into it with a bang, really. So a pretty hard day first up in South Cornwall, and hopefully no more drops. Old heart's going like a good one, so it's getting the exercise it needs. And I shall be interested to look at the stats later on in the comfort of my own gaff. That's tomorrow's project. So I thought we were pretty close to Portloe, and there's a bit of a drop ahead. Oh, praise the Lord. So hunkered down in the fold of the valley. Final few steps into Portloe. Marvellous.